It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. It is a Tuesday morning and this is your Feel Good Breakfast show Expresso on SABC3. Now, Christmas is literally just a few days away. Can you believe it? And that means we need to start preparing ourselves for some serious overindulging. Dr. Darren Green joins us for our final health chat of the year. And today he's here to warn us all about overdoing it during the festive season, something we all need to be very careful of.
We all do it around the table. You know, you want to loosen the button a little. But Dr. Darren,
Mama's food.
yes. What really happens to your stomach when you overeat?
Well, the thing with hunger is it's driven by a reflex in your body. Your body can actually tell you when it needs food.
Yeah.
But when you're getting all this multi-sensory experience of all the smells, tastes, and the associations with belonging, family, you know, the good vibe.
The relaxation.
It's relaxation, it's holidays, it's that mode that your brain goes into. You tend to then obviously move your boundaries a bit. The role of food in your life then changes completely. It's not just about sustaining your day-to-day activities and fueling what you actually need. You then look at it for a lot more than that over this time of the year. So often your liver is not used to dealing with so much fat in terms of the way food is prepared, the lavish, rich foods, the white sauces, the skin on the chicken, the gamon that is roasted in the oven, etc. So, you know, so your poor liver and your pancreas are pumping out enzymes to digest all this excess amount of food that you're not used to, and that's why you feel bloated, a little bit nauseous, and so forth. But there are a host of medical conditions associated with this time of the year.
Yeah, so drawing from that, we've all heard about the dangers of binge drinking, drinking a lot at one time.
Yes.
Are there dangers associated with binge eating?
Of course there are. So your tummy is stretched quite a bit as well.
Yeah.
And depending on what you're eating, obviously the big things like white flour products that can constipate you lead to obstruction of the bowel, and then you end up with a pressure build-up, and then it has to be released somewhere, and it normally comes out the top.
Yes.
You also have with that, obviously, depending on what you're eating, a lot of indigestion, reflux, acid reflux, heartburn, all that kind of thing. So the things
you
that
certainly want to be careful.
Heartburn's made a lot worse by white flour products and sugar.
Now, is there some precaution we can take? I mean, the like what?
So people obviously want to know about what they can do to support their livers. So they're in the milk thistle and dandelion, and you know, there's very little support for all that in terms of the detox beforehand. So you know, if you want to taste everything, good and well, but do it in small amounts.
Okay.
And do it over time. Make your Christmas meal an 8-hour affair, if you like.
Okay.
But don't like go big in like half an hour or 45 minutes.
Because you probably don't even enjoy it when you do it that way. Because it's always like, exactly. Have a conversation, talk about the beans that grandma made, and you know, whatever is on the table.
Correct. And then the next day, obviously, it's leftovers, and whatever's left over goes onto sandwiches, and so it carries on for a few days. But people also don't plan their meals well in terms of the heat and storage of their food, so they get a lot of food poisoning. Everyone's tired, what's then they go to bed and leave stuff out. The roast beef is lying on the counter, no one puts it in the fridge, and then you get some salmonella or some food poisoning happening there. So those little tips are things. So store your food properly so you don't waste money and food. And then obviously look at how you prepare it, and then, as I say, small amounts rather over time. Drink a lot of water to flush your kidneys and get rid of toxins and so forth.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll be back with Dr. Darren Green shortly to talk about probably the highest fetching commodity of the festive season, alcohol. Notagi. Ja, ons wil almal mos lekker drink. Maar hoekom nie? Ons sal nou uitvind.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Hala, lucky December boss, in case you don't know it yet. The festive season is upon us, and of course we're looking to enjoy ourselves with friends and family, and of course one of those things that gets mixed into that cocktail is liquor. It's alcohol, Dr. Darren Green. Why is it that people feel like December is a time to just go overboard with alcohol consumption? Because then, like, a lot of people want to drink every day, non-stop. Why?
That, my friend, is the question.
Let's break down the psyche of the human.
I think a lot of people have good discipline when it comes to their work, their dedication to their families and so forth as well, and they have a very strict routine in the week, and that's why on weekend you find people also doing weekend binge drinking as well. But when it comes to holidays, they've kind of suppressed a lot of issues. They've suppressed dealing with issues, suppressed the stress, etc., and now it's like this absolute caged animal that wants to break free in the December holidays. And, you know, the problem is You only think about today. You don't think about the effect of tomorrow. You don't think about responsibilities in your family, about your children, about killing someone on the road when you get into a car after having more than what you should have. And you not necessarily, killing yourself, but killing someone else on the road too. And I think that's a big message. So a lot of people suppress so much, and they need to deal with it. Alcohol is actually a downer. Doesn't up you. Cocktails up you a lot in terms of energy because of the sugar content. You get all energy, and then people are throwing energy drinks in them to suss them up a bit. But if you think about it, it helps anxious people. So you need to find different ways or balance out ways of dealing with your social anxiety, etc. as well. So they often feel less nervous to address strange people and whatever, meeting
now
new people.
Now you can tell all those jokes you've been building up.
You're confident. You're suddenly so confident in terms, especially so you're looking at your natural personality and persona. When you want to let your alter ego come out, then a lot of people, that's when they put back too much. So you need to look at different kinds of crutches, look at the company you keep, and surround yourself with people that actually care about you doing damage to your reputation, to your name, and to your body.
Yeah.
So, and if you are going to drink responsibly. In other words, drink after eating.
So, okay. So the lining the stomach thing is a real thing?
It's very important. Obviously, if you're having alcohol with food, the absorption obviously is slightly different as well. Also, the amount of alcohol you consume depletes certain vitamins that are important in the liver and enzymes.
Yeah.
And if you use all that up while metabolizing alcohol, you have none left over for proper metabolism of food and sugar.
Yes.
So you often then need a drip and so on. But the big problem with alcohol is it dehydrates you. It causes diuresis. The seal is popped or broken.
Yes.
And then you're off to the bathroom every 10 minutes to break the seal. And then you get dehydrated. So you're putting in fluid, but you're also losing a lot of fluid. And then your body can only cope with digesting and metabolizing 1 unit of alcohol per hour without causing damage to the liver and other organs. So that means 1 unit is 76 mils of wine. 76 mils is about the amount of mouthwash you put in your mouth when you're rinsing your mouth at night after brushing your teeth. So 76 mils is like
is how much your body can break down per hour.
Per hour. So without damage to anything.
Yes, well, doctor, you know that with, apart from embarrassing yourself, what else, like the damage can binge drinking over the festive season?
Medically, yes.
Yeah.
So your stomach, for example, is affected by alcohol itself. If you look at what alcohol can do to cleaning dirt off a record, an old LP, if you look at what alcohol can do cleaning windows, it burns off everything and it causes inflammation of the skin inside the stomach, for example. And that's called gastritis, inflammation of the lining of the stomach. And that then leads to epigastric pain, that burning sensation like you do when you have an ulcer. It also erodes the top layer of the stomach if you drink too much, and then can lead to things like ulcers, obviously, as well. So that's one thing. Obviously, pancreas. The pancreas is one of the organs that secrete an enzyme to digest and metabolize, and the pancreas can also get inflamed.
Yeah, well, we'll be back with Dr. Darren Green very shortly, where we talk about the day after, the night before.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Expresso. We're talking with Dr. Darren Green. It's all about health and overindulging over the festive season. Now, let's say you completely ignored all of Dr. Darren Green's advice.
Jy was rof en onbeskof.
Yes.
To the middle.
Doctor, what can you do? Let's say it's the day after. You've now overeaten.
Yes.
What are some of the things you can do to alleviate the pain?
The
cramps.
babalasta, the hangover. Yes.
But the food hangover. Let's talk about the food
Yes,
hangover.
That's
okay.
even possible. I didn't know that.
Food hangover. So you can get obviously a lot of indigestion. So you can take antacids beforehand and afterwards to help you with, as I said, the burning sensation in your tummy. A lot of people have a lot of oily foods, a lot of spicy foods. That's nachos and chilies and curries and everything like that. So obviously the acid reflux is a big problem. Then also bloating and probiotics for your gut, because you often cause a great imbalance with the gut and the flora of your digestive system. As I mentioned earlier, drinking enough fluids and water are quite important. When it comes to alcohol, however, everyone thinks of taking a little paracetamol the night before you sleep to reduce your headache the next morning.
Yes.
What people don't know is as simple as 2 or 3 simple paracetamol tablets combined with the right amount of alcohol can cause hepatitis and give you permanent damage to your liver. So everyone thinks, I'll take a little painkiller for the hangover and the headache the next morning just before going to bed with a glass of water. And most people don't know that the combination of the alcohol with paracetamol, even if it's just 3 tablets, can cause hepatitis. So a lot of people don't know it. So drink water. So what are the cures for a bubble-ass hangover?
Yes, start making notes now at home. Start making notes.
Well, the first problem is a lack of... I've heard that.
Student days.
I've heard that. The cane train. Anyway, so yeah, you need to obviously take in a lot of water. You need sleep. Those 2 are the most important because you're dehydrated, and the only thing that gets you going, obviously, is by rehydrating your system properly and then getting enough sleep, because the combination leaves you feeling nauseated in the pit of your stomach.
When you do get that feeling, should you let it go, or should you just try and just brave it out? Like, I'm not gonna be that guy. Because people tilt their heads back and no. Or should you let it out because that then lets the alcohol out and makes you feel better?
Yeah, well, the alcohol is already absorbed, so you're not letting it out right there, unfortunately. It's already... So you're going to just have a bit of discomfort calling George in the toilet, and that's not great. So
sleep and water is the most important.
Yeah, sleep and water, and then obviously getting in some decent nutrition after that's also quite important.
Now, Dr. Darren Green, what are some of the signs you need to look out for? Because I can understand, if you party the one way, you tend to get sick, but how do you differentiate between food poisoning and potential alcohol?
Okay, good. So food poisoning gives you gastroenteritis generally. So you vomit and you have diarrhea.
Okay.
You can have abdominal cramps with that, but typically the onset of food poisoning after having food that's been contaminated is only from 6 to 12 hours later after ingesting it. Alcohol poisoning obviously happens as you're raising your blood alcohol level. It then affects the nerve system in the brain, and obviously behavioral changes, drowsiness, etc.
A little bit more immediate.
Balance effects, that kind of thing. Speech being slurred, decision making, etc. I mean, everyone looks really attractive once you go past a certain point, and that's what we want to prevent, people making grave mistakes. As well. So.
All right, we're going to have Dr. Darren Green sitting on the couch one more time. If you got any questions, give us a call 0214309881. We'll be right back.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
All right, time now for our last little health segment of the year with Dr. Green. We've got a caller on the line. Good morning. I believe it's Nick.
That's right.
How are you? It's very nice.
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Oh, lekker, man. What is your comment or your advice for festive partygoers?
It's been my advice to all my friends for the last 40-odd years. I drink an essential tablet every morning with my vitamins, and I never, ever have a hangover. When I go for my medical treatment once a year, my doctor says to me, why are you wasting money on liver testing? There's nothing wrong with your liver. I don't even know how you spell headache. I often have a grandpa powder once in a month, perhaps.
Wow.
Once in 2 months. I just never, ever have a headache.
Okay, so is that good?
Ever. I don't drink a lot. I have wine, I may have a whiskey, or I may have a beer, but
perhaps maybe that's why, because he doesn't drink too much. But is it good for you to take?
Yeah, genetically, people digest alcohol differently. Some people have an ability not to be as affected by alcohol as others. Some people can drink and you don't see that they're actually so drunk because of their metabolism and how alcohol is broken down. What you must understand, however, is that the younger you are, the better your body's ability is to regenerate the inflamed cells of the liver. But what happens at a time is that turnover to get the liver cells back again, healthy again, you lose the ability to regenerate that actual ability in the liver, and that's why it then catches up where you have liver damage. The supplements and taking obviously liver support involves obviously things like specific vitamins like thiamine, etc., vitamin B, all that kind of thing. It does help to a certain degree. If you're not getting those things in your normal diet, then certainly it would, the macronutrients and the micronutrients. But more importantly, some people see it then as a license to go out and punish the liver.
Yes, so mix the drinks.
Psychologically, if you've taken the liver support, you think, I can go bigger. But as I say, alcohol affects people differently. Some people's behavioral patterns become really aggressive when they drink. Some people even know what they mustn't drink, which type of alcohol is actually worse for them. So that's also quite interesting. But I'm glad he doesn't suffer from severe hangovers.
Primarily because he doesn't drink too much,
Yes,
which is
there you
great.
go.
Thank you for that call. Now, Dr. Darren Green, it's been a great year. 2017 wrapping up. Any parting advice from you?
Yeah, I think over this season, if you're going to be entertaining and having people over at your guests, pay particular attention to how you prepare food and how you defrost food and the temperatures in your house. I mean, everyone's speaking about listeria, obviously, as well. And that's an animal-borne disease or a bacteria. So that's from not preparing your beef, your poultry, your pork properly, and not cooking it through at the right temperatures. Also from buying unpasteurized milk. That's where it comes from. Flu-like symptoms initially, then a bit of gastro, etc. So, and wash your vegetables properly. That soil could have the eggs of the bacteria on it in areas where listeria is. So wash your hands, wash your food, and prepare your food at the right temperatures. And remember to put the stuff in the fridge when you're not eating it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for a great year of medical advice. And we
Thank
look
you,
forward
guys.
to
Thanks.
another brilliant year in 2018. Have a festive season that is wonderful and blessed to you and the family.
Thank you very much.
We'll
Thank
see you next year, Doctor.